Hey, what's going on guys, Dirty here, and welcome back to the next episode of our Forge modding tutorial for Minecraft 1.17. In this tutorial we are going to be covering how to make an advanced block. Now this will include several different things. This will include block states, custom models, what else, rotations, and also some things with like textures. I'll explain that a little bit later. So let's go ahead and get started, and let's go ahead and create the block in Blockinit. So let's go into Blockinit, and in here we're going to want to create our block. So public static final registry object. Is that the right registry object? That looked like it was from the wrong package. Yeah, I think it's fine. And this is not going to be of type block, because we're going to be creating a custom block here. So we're going to be creating our own class for a block. I'm not exactly sure how I want my block to function. Let me think. What do I want to do? Okay, so I have thought about what I wanted to do, and I'm just going to do something fairly stupid. So I'm going to make it so anytime you right click the block, it's going to summon a bunch of pigs, then it's going to summon lightning on the block, and hopefully that will get all the pigs, and then it's just going to shoot you all 50 blocks into the air and kill you all. I don't know why, just sounds like something that could be interesting. So I'm going to call this block, let's see, what do I want to call it? So let's call it lightning jumper block. Sure. And I'm going to call this lightning underscore jumper, and that can be equal to blocks.register lightning underscore jumper, and then we can have the normal supplier, but obviously of a new lightning jumper block, and that's just going to take in the normal properties. So let's go ahead over here, let's copy it from here, let's copy the requires correct tool for drops and stuff. What's going on here? Why have you done that, Eclipse? That's not what we wanted. Okay, let's change this back then. Let's go new. Okay, and just plonk that in there. Do we want a material stone? No, let's have it, I think, metal. And let's not have it blue, let's have it terracotta orange. And let's have the strength a lot higher, so let's have a strength of 8, and let's just have a resistance of 30. Okay, now let's go ahead and create this lightning jumper block. So in our common package, I have already created a package for blocks. So in here we can create our lightning jumper block, and this will just extend block. Okay, add the constructor. This is just the properties, so let's just make sure we rename that. Okay, so this is where you can do anything with your block that you want to do. So obviously you can go ahead through all these different methods and do whatever you want. So the first thing that we'll go ahead and do is the functionality. So the main method you're going to want to probably use here is use, and this happens when you right click on the block. There should also be there should be one when you start to break the block. I'm not sure exactly what that one's called, but there's also on place, there's on remove, there's on exploded. There's a bunch of different methods here which you could use. like full on. Yeah, there are a bunch of different ones. Obviously vanilla has examples of all of those, that's why the methods do exist. But yeah, the one I'm going to be using is just use, because we're going to be doing this on right click. Let's just go ahead and rename all these variables. I'm going to have to change to parchment soon, probably, or librarian I should say, because dealing with these parameters is semi-annoying. And results. There we go. And obviously we have a warning on the super because it's deprecated. Now don't worry about this deprecated here, that is just deprecated for calling the method. So for overriding it, it's perfectly fine. Don't worry about that at all. So I'm going to go ahead and start writing the functionality. Okay, so guys, I have attempted to make this code. I have no idea if this is going to work because I am touching stuff here that I've never touched in my life. All this add tag and remove tag, I'm not entirely sure what it does. From what I understand, it's just something to do with MBT. It probably won't work, but it was just worth a try. And I couldn't get it to do the motion upwards, or at least not without some janky information storage, which I didn't really want to touch. Something like this would be best with a block entity, which is something I will be covering very soon, but I'm not going to be doing that in this tutorial. So this code is, yeah, not great in its current state. Hopefully it'll work. I'm just going to quickly go through everything that is happening right here. So first thing we do is we check that it is server side, since some of this logic needs to happen on the server. Then I check if the player has at least 10 level. I check if they don't have less than 10 levels and they are not in creative. If that's true, then we just play an anvil break sound and it fails, because I want them to have experience to be able to do this. Then I check if they're not in creative mode, then it takes 10 levels away. Or actually, I should probably make that 5 levels, just make it a requirement of 10 levels, take away 5. That makes more sense, actually, yeah. And then we just play a sound, because why not? Ideally, we would probably add particles too, but I haven't done that. And then I just do a simple loop, and I add some pig entities. I set their position with some randomness, and then I add this lightning jumper tag with a 0 on the end, and this 0 just be a tick counter. And then I add them, and we return. And then I created an event up here. I haven't covered events yet. I will be doing those soon. But if not, here is basically an event. And I'm subscribing to the living update event. So this happens every tick for every living entity. So I just grab the entity. I create a string builder for the tag. And then I loop through all the tags in the entity and check if it starts with our lightning jumper. And then if I do, then we just append it. If it's not empty, we just come down to ticks down here, and we get the ticks from the string. So we just pass this lightning jumper string. As you can see down here, it has a number, so I'm just trying to get that number. Then I check if that number is less than 120. So 120 ticks is basically what I was going for here, which is what, like 6 seconds, because it's 20 ticks per second, so yeah, 6 seconds. Then if it does, then I just remove the tag and add it back with the ticks plus 1. As I said, this is not ideal. This is really not a great way to do this. Ideally you would want a block entity, but yeah. If it's not less than 120, so it's surpassed 120, or is 120 of course, then we remove the tag entirely, summon a lightning bolt, set the lightning bolt's position, and add it to the world. As I said, most of this is probably not going to work, to be honest, but I think you guys get the whole the point of advanced blocks. You can do whatever you want to do with them, really. So yeah, I mean, ideally something like this you would mix with a block entity. It would sort of be a mix and match sort of situation. Yeah, but this video would be way too long if I was covering that as well. So the next thing we're going to cover in this tutorial is block states, which I haven't done. So block states are basically just a property that is applied to a block state, or applied to a block. So it's kind of hard to explain. Okay, let's think of the door, right? So the door has many different states. So actually, let's go and have a look at the door. So Control-Shift-T, so look at the door block. Okay, as you can see up here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different properties. We have the facing property, so that is basically the direction that it's facing. Then we have a boolean for whether it's open or not. Then we have an enum for which side of the door the hinge is on, so which way it opens. Then we have another boolean for whether it's powered by redstone, and then we have another boolean for which half it is, or an enum for which half it is, so bottom or top. So there's quite a lot going on here, but let's just look at open. So that's basically what I'm going to be using, open. So let's come down into our block class. Let's create a public static final, and I'm going to be creating a boolean property. However, if you look into boolean property, or I guess, yeah, let's look into boolean property. you can see it just extends property. If you open the implementation, these are all the properties you can use. So boolean, enum, direction, and integer. Those are the different properties that are accepted. And I'm going to name this, let's see, I could name it activated. Sure. So whether or not it's activated, or no, let's do rotations, shall we? So actually, let's use that. Let's just do a direction property, and we'll call this facing, and that is equal to, what does the door block use? Blocks. Oh no, horizontal directional block dot facing. So let's plug that in there. If we just look at this, it's simply just blockstates.horizontal facing, and then it comes into here and it just creates it like this. And we're just going to want to actually copy these two methods from our horizontal directional block class. Actually, we can just extend horizontal directional block. Sure, let's do that. Let's extend horizontal directional block, and then we can yeet this field entirely because it will be from now the superclass. And what we need to do here is set the default state to the facing that we want. So set, or I think it's actually register default state, and then it's this.default block state dot is it with? No, it's set value, and then it's the property, which is it just facing? Yep. And then the value is direction from net.minecraft.core dot, and then the one you want it to be default. So generally you set the default as north if it's for facings. Then we need to override the it was filled block state container in the old versions. It is, there you go, get state definition. Or is that right? No, that's not right. What is it? It is, let's see if I can find it. I can't see it. Okay, well this is a chance for me to show you something on Discord, I guess. On my Discord server, to be specific. So, if I just bring over Discord right here, this is my Discord server, and as you can see, I am in the bot channel. Now, I can use /translate, and I can go method and MCP to Mojang, and for the search term, I'm looking for fill state container, and the version is 1.16.5. If I type that in, we should be able to see it is now create block state definition. So that's obviously if you've come from 1.16.5 MCP, that is a great thing that you can go ahead and use. So as you can see, if I type that in, yep, there it is. Perfect. Let's rename this to the builder. Let's call the super, and then let's go builder.add, and we're simply just going to add facing. There we go. Then we want to override get state for placement, and this takes in the context. So context. Okay, we just want to return super dot set value context dot and then we want to get the horizontal direction, or is that right? The horizontal direction? I think so. And then dot get opposite. And then we want to, oh no, this needs to be the facing. My bad, I've got these the wrong way around. Facing, and then this is for that one, for the value. There you go, just got it the wrong way around. Also here you can just return the default. I mean, what does this do? That just returns the default block state. So actually, let's not call the super. Let's just call the default block state. There we go. Much better and nicer. Anything else we need to do for blocks, for rotational blocks? I don't think so. Nope, that's it. That's all I can think of. Okay, so the next thing we can go ahead and do is create a custom model for our block. And the way I'm going to be doing that is through the program Blockbench. So let's open up Blockbench. Oh dear, blinding. Come on, Blockbench, you're meant to be dark theme. There we go, it's better. Okay, and in here you can just create a Java block/item. Get rid of this because that's stupid. Okay, and obviously you can set whatever here. Got all these different things, whatever. You can just confirm, and you can start making your model. So I'm just really quickly going to go ahead and make a model. Okay, so as you can see, I have now created the model. There is one more thing you probably want to go ahead and do, and that is go into the display tab up here. And here is where you can actually change how it looks in your hand, in the inventory, all that different stuff. Or you can just apply a preset. So if you go display, apply preset, and you can go default block, apply to all slots. And with most models that will work perfectly fine. You can just go through them and check. For the head, I always like to go ahead and scale it to the max. I don't know why. That's just what I like to do. Because if anyone gets it on their head, it's then quite funny. So ground, yeah. Frame, yeah. GUI, yeah. Those are all fine. So yeah, now we can go ahead and obviously make sure we save it as a BB model first. We always want to save as BB model just in case we want to edit it in the future. So let's see, it is the lightning _ jumper, and there we go. And then we also want to go ahead and make sure we export, and export as a block/item model. So we can go ahead and get export, and then we can simply go ahead and make sure we save that into our mod folder. So let's see, 1.17 tutorial mod, source main, not Java, resources, assets, tutorial mod, models, block, and lightning_jumper.json. Hit save, and we can also go ahead and make sure we export this voxel shape. Now if you don't have this right here, or actually there's two here. What's this one? Oh, is that what did that say? Exports to a voxel shape to a mapping of your choice. Export a voxel shape, block hitbox, modded only. Interesting. I'm not sure the difference between these. Let's go into plugins and see if I can find where that happens. So let's see, go down. Voxel importer, nope, not that one. So there's mod utils right here. Ah, I see. So there's this one and this one. So let's remove mod utils. So yeah, if you want this voxel shape generator plugin, you should be able to see it in this available section. Yeah, so I already had that, so I didn't need to go ahead and install it. You can now go ahead and file and export your voxel shape, and we are on Mojang mappings, so then we can confirm. And to save it, we can just go, where should we save it? I'll just save it onto my desktop, and I'll just call it beans, because I can't be bothered to give it a proper name. That's how lazy I am. So if I just go onto my desktop, I can see my beans.txt, and oh my god. Ooh no, oh god. Yeah, that's nasty. Never mind then. Let's not use that one, because that is awful. Let's find that plugin and uninstall it, and let's go back to available and use JTK's mod utils one, because that one works much better. So now we can go ahead, file, export, and voxel shape, and Moj maps is the one we want, so confirm. Ah, right, yes, of course. So what we need to go ahead and do is group all of these groups. So let's create a new group. We need to rename this exactly as I put, so that is voxel shapes. It needs to be the exact same as that, exact same casing, everything, and then we can just plonk everything inside of here. Okay, and then we can file, export, voxel shape, and now let's save it as beans.txt. Let's replace that. Okay, now we can open our beans.txt, and yeah, that's much nicer. That's, yeah, much better. Okay, let's copy this without the .git. We don't want the .git, and I'll show you why in a second. So now we can come into our block class. Let's create a private static final optional voxel shape, and I'm just going to call this shape is equal to, and then I'm going to paste it in. Okay, and you just need to replace shapes, voxel shapes, with shapes, and replace that, and just import shapes, which is, well, you import optional first from java.util, and then shapes will auto import. And then we need to find out what iBoolean function is. So I'm just going to translate this. Translate class MCP to Mojang iBoolean function. got that slightly wrong actually. iBoolean function 1.16.5. So that is now boolean op. So boolean op, import. I'm not sure what these are. I think that's not necessary actually. Yeah, I think that's just something that's messed up right there. So it does seem to have actually broken then, because it's assuming that those boolean ops exist for some reason, which they obviously don't. So it thinks that all of these subfolders are boolean operators. I see. So what we need to go ahead and do then, this is kind of stupid actually, but we need to go ahead and just grab all of these cubes from all of our folders, and from these ones too. Make sure you select all of them. A ridiculous task. And then we just need to drag them all out into voxel shapes, and then we need to delete all of these folders inside of it. There we go. Okay, and now we can export our voxel shape again. So that was clearly a bug with the plugin, but there isn't any other ones, so we'll have to stick with that. Okay, we've saved it in our beans.txt again. Let's reopen that, and there we go. That's sort of more what I was expecting to see. Let's come back into Eclipse. Let's yeet this again and repaste it back in. We do still have this boolean operation, so that is boolean op. And voxel shapes we know is shapes. Okay, and save that. That will just format it to be a little bit nicer. Then, now we have that, we need to go ahead and override the method getShape, or it's gets collision shape, I think. Oh no, it's this shape right here. So getShape, and it's the one with the 4 parameters. So those parameters are the state, then this is the level or the world, and then this is the pos, of course, and this is the context, and all we want to return in here is shape.isPresent. Then we can just return shape.get. If it's not present, well, actually, I guess we can do something slightly different here. So we can do shape.orelse, and then we can just return shapes.block. So basically, what that will do, if we come back down to where that is, where'd it go? Okay, so what this does is it will get the field in the optional, so it will get the voxel shape if it's present. If it's not present, it will just return a it will return this basically, which is just a 1x1 normal voxel shaped cube. If you look here, it's literally just 1x1. So yeah, that's basically, I would say, the best way to do this. And well, is that it? I guess so. We don't really have a way to change the property though, do we? So, well, I guess we do, because it changes on facing. So yeah, that's fine. Now, if you have any transparency in your block, or any missing pixels or whatever, any holes in the texture, whatever, you'll need to come into your client mod events, and you will need to go ahead and make the client setup. So let's go subscribe event public static void client setup. Is it client setup actually? I think so. FML client setup event I'm wondering if maybe they added a new event for it. I don't think they did. And here you can just use render type lookup, which it's not going to be called that anymore. Let me go ahead and translate it again. So I'll translate class render type lookup, and that was 1.16.5. So by translating that, I can see that it is item block render types. Okay, and here we can just do set render layer, and for this it's just our block. So block init dot lightning jumper dot get, and then it's the type that we want to set it to. So we can use render type dot, and here's all the different render types you can use. So if you just have holes in the texture, say it's not let's see, something like leaves, for example, you would want cut out. And if it has like transparency, so something like stained glass, you would go ahead and choose translucent, and say that it was just solid, but for some reason it wasn't working quite right, you could choose solid. There's a bunch of different ones. You can also do this for entities as well, if entities have special textures. So you can use render type dot cutout, and if we save that, there we go. In fact, can we use a method reference here? No. Okay, that's interesting. What does cutout return? Just out of curiosity, cutout. Oh, right, and that's private because Mojang, of course. Of course. Okay. That is it for the rendering. I guess the next thing we need to actually make sure we do is the block item. So let's come into our item init. Let's copy this one right here, and let's go replace example with lightning underscore jumper underscore block underscore item, and lightning underscore jumper for the name, blocking it dot lightning jumper. There we go. That is that. Oh, we need to actually change the voxel shape when we rotate it. I completely forgot about this, and that would have caused a fairly major issue. Let's come back into our lightning jumper block, and there's two methods I'm actually going to go ahead and copy in from my 1.16 tutorials in actuality, because they are the exact same. In fact, yeah, okay, but before we do that, we're going to want to create another static field in here. So we're going to want to create a private static final map of direction and voxel shape, and I'm going to call this shapes, and that is equal to a new hash map. There we go. Import that. Fantastic. Now we're going to want to go and paste in these two methods that I have. So we're probably going to have to actually change these, but I'm not too sure. Oops, didn't mean to paste it there. Meant to paste it there. Okay, and we're going to want to change these voxel shape methods to shapes, and we're going to want to do run calculation, calculate shapes, Okay, and we're going to want to put shapes.put. This will all be in the description, these two methods. I do quickly have to change them though. So toHorizontalIndex is now different. Let's see what it might have changed to. It's probably this get 2D data value. I have a feeling that's probably what it's going to be. However, I will translate it again. So yeah, obviously if you are also coming from 1.16 like me, you can obviously join my Discord server and you can translate it in the bot channel. It's extremely useful. It is crazy useful. So yeah, I was correct. It is indeed get 2D data value. So let's put those there and there. And then we have for each box, which is now different. Oh, for all boxes. That is a stupid method name, Mojang. Why would you do that? For all boxes. That is a dumb name. For each, it just makes sense. It just sticks with the sort of Java. But okay, whatever. That's just how it is. And then we just need to go ahead and call this run calculation method wherever that is. Actually, in fact, we can move this calculate shapes to a custom class, can't we? Instead of bunging it in here. Let's go to let's put it in our main class, I guess. Ideally, you would create a utility class for this, and I might do that in the future if I find there's any other utility things that I want to keep. So let's do tutorial mod.calculate shapes. There we go. And then we can just call run calculation. What's going on here? Oh right, we need to change this to an enum map, otherwise it will get mad. New enum map, and that takes in the enum class. So direction class. We just do an enum map. It's for enums. It just makes more sense than a hash map. You don't really need to worry about that too much. That's just something Eclipse will be mad at me if I don't do. And then in the constructor, you can just call your run calculation on shape.isPresent. Or no, it was what did we use? It was shape.orElse, and then shapes.block. And then we can actually change this down here, so we can instead do shapes.get state.get value facing. So that's probably all quite confusing. I'm going to be putting all of this code on GitHub after this tutorial is done. So you can look through this and you can just sort of try and figure out what's happening. I'm going to try and comment as much as I can, because some of this right here is a little bit confusing, especially the way I have sort of gone over it. I don't even know how long this tutorial is going to be. God, I'm already on 2 hours. Yeah. Hopefully I can edit that down a lot more though. Okay. I guess now we can go ahead and do the JSONs finally. I'm going to leave the block state out for a second. Let's do the lang first. So in the lang, let's do block.lightning underscore jumper. That's not right. Block.tutorial mod. God, I am not with it today. Not with it at all today. And oh god. And that is the lightning jumper. It's a really weird name. I don't know why I named it that. Okay, and then in the model, we can just copy. Oh no, we have the model, don't we? If we refresh. Yep, we have the model. Then we can do the item model. So that's just going to be the exact same as our example block. Lightning underscore jumper.json. And parent off of lightning underscore jumper. Okay. I'm actually going to check the block model for one thing. And that is, yeah, that's fine. So you just need to make sure that these are the right sort of locations to the textures. So if they're vanilla textures, it'll be block and then slash the texture name. If it's one of your own textures, you would put tutorial mod : blocks. So you just need to make sure you get that right. And obviously here you have the particle as well. You can change that to whatever particle you want. I'm actually going to change... No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'll leave it as andesite. That is sort of the main... Actually, that's not really the main thing. The main thing was brown _ mushroom _ block. So I don't know why. Well, I guess there was more cubes for andesite, but yeah. So that's that. Now we can do the block state. So let's copy this. Let's paste it. Let's go lightning _ jumper. Okay, and let's go ahead and open this. Okay, now as I said previously, these are for all the different properties. So I said previously that we could do, you know, open is equal true, for example, or open is equal true is what I meant, and it would have this specific model. So we basically need to go ahead and do that, but with facing. So we need to have facing is equal north, and let's just make sure we change this to the right model. So lightning _ jumper. Okay, so at north, nothing special is happening. Let's copy this. Let's paste it. Let's paste it 3 times because we're going to have the south, west, east. Let's change these to their respective ones. So south, west, the east. Make sure we spell south right, of course. Okay, and here is where we just need to change a value for the rotation. So for south, we need to rotate it 180 degrees. So we change the y-axis to 180. Then for west, we need to change the y to 270. So we need negative 90 degrees basically. But we can't put negative 90. Or can we put negative 90? No, I don't think so. And then obviously for east, that means we have y 90. Okay, and that is the block state JSON. Obviously this will be in the description as well, so you can just copy this into your own mod. Okay, I think we can finally run the game. I'm very worn out. The functionality of the block probably isn't even going to work, but let's give it a run, shall we? Okay, so we are now in the game, as you can see, and I've got my block from the Creative tab. Now if I place it down, as you can see, it has different rotations, depending on which way I place it, and it has a voxel shape. You probably want to actually simplify this voxel shape a little bit, because it can cause some pretty serious lag if you have a lot of these. I mean, I don't know if we'll be able to see that. But you should be able to see my FPS drop literally just when I place one. No, it doesn't want to show me that right now, but trust me, you don't want to have a voxel shape this complex. It will cause a lot of issues. Okay, so let's go and test it out. As I say, I highly doubt this is going to work, but we're going to give it a go anyways. Actually, let's go down here. It's nice and flat down here. Okay, let's right click it. Okay, it summoned the pigs. That was expected. Whoa! Wow. Wow. I am honestly fairly shocked that worked. Wow. Wow. Okay, I'm barely astonished. Let's see if it works with XP, shall we? So if I go into survival game mode survival. Okay, and there's not a /x. Oh, there is a /xp command. Okay, at S, let's go. I don't know, 5,000. Sure. Now we have XP, so we should go down to 3341. Yeah, we did. Obviously, we can do it multiple times. I mean, maybe not the best idea, but we can do it. That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, I mean, obviously you can do it as many times as you can click it, but you know, it's maybe not the best idea to do it millions of times. Obviously, if it was a tile entity, you would implement some sort of. This is really loud. I need to turn this down. I'm gonna go deaf. Let's go down to like 10%. But yeah, obviously, if this was a block entity, you could implement cooldowns, and there's a lot more you could do. And yeah, obviously we're gonna die now, but we didn't die. I'm fairly shocked. Let's punch one of these guys, shall we? Oh, that's a very high score. Wow. Oh yeah, I did test it previously. I've got to be honest with you guys. I did test it. But yeah, it was still first try, but I tested it the second I got in the world. I couldn't resist. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy this tutorial or find it useful. If you did, please do be sure to smash your face into that like button, and you know what, subscribe as well. If you really enjoyed, please do be sure to share it, and yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye. Oh my. Oh god, I've broken Minecraft. I've broken Minecraft. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh, what have I done? Oh, what have I done? Oh, oh no. Oh dear. Oh, oh dear. I'm sorry I did this. Oh dear.
What's up, dudes? It's Pat, and welcome back to another Minecraft video.
Hey guys!
Hello, this is Stumpy, and welcome to a Minecraft Let's Play video.
Good morning, Grim. How are you doing? I think we should get you some breakfast on the go. Travis, what have you been up to?